Sprints and Hurdles, welcome back. My name is Alex Stanford. If you don't know me, I'm one of the strength and conditioning coaches at UWM. I work with sprints hurdles, of course. I work with mid-D, throws, and then also swim and dive. Again, I want to welcome you guys back. I hope everyone is doing well and staying healthy. Super excited to start working with you guys again. I hope it was more in person than it would be here over video, but we will do what we can. All right, guys. So kind of getting into this first block, I know there's going to be a lot of questions going on, especially with a new program. Maybe you haven't seen my programming style before, so I want to get out there and answer some of those questions, and I hope this video helps. All right. So I wrote down some notes here. Some things you might see with my programming. I'll kind of go over some of the base work. I wrote down an exercise here just for an example, and then you can kind of use them for the rest of the exercises, okay? So, for example, day one, I believe this is dynamic effort day one. I have the order of the exercise, so you'll see 2A here. I have an isodynamic barbell RDL, okay? So usually when I write exercises, I'll try to explain the exercise in the movement pattern as well as possible, so I'll use a lot of verbiage. I do that for a purpose because there's a lot of different steps that go into an exercise to make it unique, right? So as you can see, isodynamic, that's how we are moving it. So you can see iso, there's probably going to be a pause sometime in there. Dynamic, we're going to be moving it in a dynamic fashion at some point. Barbell, that's the implement we're using, so we're using a barbell. And RDL, Romanian deadlift, that is the exercise movement pattern, okay? You also see that I have some notes here with it. So we have a 3-second iso hold at the bottom of RDL, then explode back up. That's our dynamic portion, is exploding back up and through. You'll see sets, like I'm sure you guys are all used to, sets, and then we have 5, reps, 4. So after you complete 4 reps of this isodynamic RDL, that would be 1 set, okay? Continue on to B, come back up, and then continue on to the second set. All right, guys? I think that right there is pretty self-explanatory. You have the exercise, sets, and reps, and don't worry, I will go over how that isodynamic barbell RDL looks like in another video as well, okay? Continuing on. Tempo. So I have a 2-3x tempo for this exercise, right? A lot of coaches write their tempos a little different, okay, across the board. And the way that I write it, you'll usually see the first number will always refer to the first portion of the exercise. So it's going to be exercise dependent, guys, right? So, for example, the first portion of an RDL, okay, 2 seconds. I'll stand back here so you can see. First portion of an RDL, right, we're starting at the top. It would be coming down 1, 2 seconds, find that bottom position, okay? That would be different for a row or a press or anything like that. So kind of pay attention to what exercise that is. Second number, we have a 3. So we're going to be at the bottom of that RDL holding for 3 seconds. That's our iso or pause portion of this exercise, okay? So again, starting off, first number is 2. 1, 2, okay? We find the bottom of that RDL. Bar should be just below the knees. We're holding 1, 2, 3 seconds. That 3 seconds again is that second number in the tempo, right? Third number of the tempo, X, right? Usually when I have an X, I'm referring to an explosive movement, okay? So we're going to come back through and explode our hips through and up, coming back into that standing position, okay? So explode back up and through. One more time here, guys. We have 1, 2 seconds down, 1, 2, 3 second hold, explode back up, squeezing glutes, hips all the way through, okay? Again, this is with the barbell. I will be showing these movements a little bit later on, okay? All right, guys. Another thing you'll see is intensity, okay? Intensity. I have 5 to 6 RPE. So RPE refers to rating of perceived exertion. The scale that I'm using is a 1 to 10 scale. 1, basically it's the easiest exercise that you have done and you can do it for a very long time. And 10 being it's the hardest exercise you have done. You can probably only do it once and you don't really want to do it again because it was so hard, right? So 5 to 6 RPE, when I usually am talking about the RPE, I'm usually talking about the weight we are using, okay? So a 10 would be really, really heavy. You can barely move it at all, and it's moving really, really slow. 5 to 6 RPE is something that is lighter, right? We can move it either A, really, really fast and be explosive with it, or 5 to 6 RPE might be used for repeat effort work. We can kind of rep something out over and over and not get too tired doing it, okay? So intensity 5 to 6 RPE, if you want to think about this in percentages, that would almost be like a 50 to 60%, right? Out of 100% in that movement pattern. And you can move that really, really fast, okay? So we should be able to be really explosive with these movements, okay? In the next video kind of coming up, I will show a lot of these movement patterns. I hope that this video kind of lays out that groundwork and answers a lot of the questions for you. Again, feel free to always reach out to me. I believe you have my email and phone number. If not, we'll find a way to get in touch. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.